here puts them at 19 match points. That is how many you need to go to day 2, Kyle.
That's a good number. Yeah, we like seeing that very early, especially when you'd have 2 more rounds to go. There's the fist bump. We are underway. Andrew Astrada going to be starting things off there with what I suspect is a banger of a hand.
Yeah, definitely got backstage to the concert somehow. Even brought a few friends. Double battle VIP pass to start things off.
Is this the T Swift concert?
It has to be, yeah.
Okay, let's go.
I mean, those tickets cost a lot, so.
I think world champions can afford it.
True, true. First battle VIP pass is going to grab another Comfey. And again, Andrew's going to take the time now to look through the deck, check the prize cards, see that a lot of like random Pokemon are prized. Like you got the Holucha.
When you go for one Pokemon on Battle VIP Pass and then go for the second Battle VIP Pass, you know you're in for a good turn.
Just forget, you know? No.
He just misread it, thought it was a nest ball, and it's like, all right, now I'll grab this.
Meanwhile, Grant starting that Yveltal. It's actually a pretty okay starter here. It's a single prize, so Cramorant can't actually take it out. 120 HP, I believe.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's one of those Pokemon that might get to actually stick around for a little while. Go for the early Snorlax this time around.
Is Battle VIP Pass get one Pokemon each?
Grant's trying to figure it out. He's like, oh, you're getting one each? Okay.
We're about to drop 3 basic Pokemon from the hand. Is that what's going on right here?
He's like, whoa, wait.
Like literally, Andrew just played 2 nest balls or one Battle VIP Pass.
You can see the smile from Grant, and he's like, are you sure?
Flower selecting now to start things off. Water energy, and can't see the other card.
Yeah, it looks like a trainer of some sorts. A good one, I guess.
Radiant Greninja, here we go. That's one of the Pokemon that you usually want to find, but yeah, just benches it and passes. No energy to use that concealed cards, and Grant's going to start things off. Meanwhile, heads on capturing Aroma, finding an Archeops. That's how you want.
Yeah, pretty solid to get that Pokemon early on. If you have the right cards to go with it, we see the Nest Ball. I think there was a Serena in hand, so maybe a potential way to discard that Pokemon early on, maybe continue to build up this hand. But there were a lot of energies in there, unfortunately.
Nest Ball here. Again, now this is Grant's turn to check the deck, check the prize cards, see what cards you have available. And pretty much you want to do this with every deck. It's just every deck is going to have different cards you're going to need for each matchup. And Nest Ball's grabbing that Lugia.
This Pokemon you need to get down early on. Not exactly threatened just yet. Sometimes we've seen players go for a really aggressive strategy. Maybe the players that don't have the Sky Seal Stone, they just play that Raikou down, immediately throw an energy on it and say, well, I'm going to knock out a Lugia on turn 2, and I don't even need Mirage Gate to get that done. I could target that down very quickly. Instead, go for this slower approach, as certainly you could build up to that point and get that additional prize card in this matchup for Andrew.
Grant benches that Tyranitar V, attaches that single strike energy to the active Yveltal. And here we see the Serena discarding those 3 cards in hand. You're going to draw up to 5.
Yeah, big fan of the discard on the Serena.
Me too. Discarding 1 Archeops, still hoping for another one by next turn.
Ah, this is
3 energy, Nest Ball, Ultra Ball. Yeah, exactly how you write it up.
It's enough to keep playing, of course. And you can see clearly that Lugia V-Star would be available, and you could continue to get something going, but you need a little more.
Speaking of getting going, Andrew has the Colress's Experiment here. Going to look at the top 5, put 2 in the Lost Zone, other 3 in hand, and then you have access to a Flower Selecting, concealed cards. It's looking like this turn's finally starting to get going.
Yeah, we definitely expected to see something like this, and I'm just curious which Pokemon Andrew feels like he should attack with early on in this matchup. Going for the Snorlax certainly meant that there was that opportunity to work that Pokemon into the mix, maybe knock out one of these awkward hit point Pokemon like that Yveltal, but you need a lot of resources to get that going early, and I don't expect to see that even on this second turn here, as there's only 3 cards in the Lost Zone so far.
3 cards in the Lost Zone. Still have access to Flower Selecting for the turn. Haven't used any of those yet. The Hisuian Heavy Ball does grab the Hawlucha from the prize cards. And I think it's Beach Court Water Energy for the Flower Selecting here.
Hand size certainly starting to build at this stage. I'm just considering what exactly you want to add to the hand at this point. So often you end up in these tough decisions, and Beach Court is going to fall here. It's one of those resources you really like to hold on to. Give yourself the options to continue to switch out these Comfeys. Every time that you give up one of these one-prize knockouts, you continue to draw, but maybe you're going to find some more important resources as the 4 Sealstones added to the hand. That's sometimes a hit, sometimes a miss, and in this matchup, you kind of want to save for the sky.
And one thing to note, too, is the active Comfey has used Flower Selecting, so Escape Rope is going to push the other one from the bench to the active.
Yeah, not much of a decision here for Grant. Cannot risk that Lugia V in any circumstance, so promote that Tyranitar, stare down this second Flower Selecting for the turn for Andrew, and maybe we could see a Cramorant worked into the mix at some point, get some chip damage onto this Tyranitar, but don't expect to see a knockout this turn.
And debating between Lost Vacuum and the Lightning Energy. Now, there is only 2 Lightning Energy in the deck for that Raikou V at towards the end of the game for that Sky Sealstone play.
Yep, Lost Vacuum along with the Forest Sealstone would have been enough to get a Mirage Gate rolling, but that just shows how important the Lightning Energy is, as you really need to have the opportunity to maximize the attacks from not only that Raikou, but even the Dragonite in some circumstances.
Well, Andrew ends the turn with a Spit innocently. 110 damage on the active Tyranitar V, and now it's Grant's time to shine, trying to get Lugia V-Star in play and another Archeops in the discard. And with this hand, you're not getting 2. You get 1.
That's brutal.
You could potentially go for Luminion V and judge. But are you really even trying to win if you're doing that?
Well, is solo chops gonna win either? Because it's not ideal either way. I don't know what else you really could expect from the Luminion at this stage, as it just gives you that one supporter, and you're not going to guarantee anything like that Archeops into the discard pile. So it's like just gonna be the one.
Funny enough, the Escape Rope pushing the Tyranitar V into the active spot kind of forces Grant to just attack with that now.
Yeah, and this is like the one Pokemon you don't want to see as the Tyranitar. If you're using Cragalanche and knocking out Comfeys with even just one of those single strikes, you're in a pretty solid spot. Instead, committing energies to this Pokemon, and the knockout won't be available with that one in the prize cards, the one single strike energy. It's pretty strict. I mean, you can only charge up these energies now. I guess you can attach.
Oh, does he have the other one in hand?
I mean, even then, you're doing 100. You could go for the giant attack and lose half your deck.
Exactly. Yeah. Discard 4 cards from your deck.
Okay.
Take the knockout.
You're gonna crush them.
All right. Double turbo energy and single strike energy to the active spot. And I guess it's all just where Grant wants to put this energy.
That doesn't feel good.
No.
I mean, knockouts are good. At this point, you need more cards. You can't win this game with 3 energies in hand and 1 Archeops. So definitely understand it, and that is going to be the line. Single strike crush. I knock out a Cramorant and lose 4 cards.
Yeah, those 4 cards didn't matter.
That's fine.
Gift energy is maybe, yeah, but it's fine. You took the knockout. The important thing to note, that's Andrew's only copy of Cramorant.
Oh, no.
And if you don't take the knockout, Cramorant's just going to deal 110 damage next turn again. Oh, Andrew's going to start things off yet again with a Colress's Experiment.
Yeah, this will lead to 7 cards into the Lost Zone. Mirage Gate would mean Snorlax easily could handle this Tyranitar V at this stage. And Grant added a Professor Burnett to the hand. I don't think that's the card he was looking for with the prizes.
You'll like discarding cards with the single strike crush, right? So you
Yeah.
just discard more cards from your deck.
You don't deck me, I deck me.
All right, Colress's Experiment gets rid of Penny. And another card. And Andrew's now trying to eye down, charging up that Snorlax to take the big knockout here. I guess you could also just try to go for Archeops.
Yeah, I mean, your opponent is pretty dependent on having either the Urn of Vitality or energies in hand at this point if they want to have an attack next turn, as they're only accelerating the 2 energies from the Archeops. So even taking the knockout, it's not guaranteed that your opponent is attacking you for relevant damage next turn.
Now, I do believe Andrew just got the boss's orders off the concealed cards. So now you have a decision to make where maybe you could actually hunt down that Archeops and take the knockout.
Grant almost guarding the Archeops at this stage.
Like, forget about this Pokemon.
Please don't. Also, but if you do, I'm probably going to leave.
No,
we'll see if the pieces are there.
Flower selecting here.
I do like this, splitting it up as he's considering. Just looks back at the hand and keeps those cards well separate as he's trying to determine what exactly is going to be the perfect card to add to the hand to maybe get this combo off.
A grip of cards in Andrew's hand to go along with it as well.
See the Recycler rotated up to the top, just considering even if you need to get some extra energies in there. It says, well, I see 2 water energies that I can't find. Is there one in hand potentially?
Yeah, I think it's safe to Mirage Gate, but Andrew is playing a low count of energy for a Lost Zone deck like this, but that's because he's not playing the Kyogre.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the one deck that can kind of skimp on that, and just going to play the 9 energies here. So counts them out, ends up having enough there. Those 2 energies to the Snorlax, has the energy in hand, and along with the boss's orders and a switching effect, this could be a devastating turn here.
3rd energy on that Snorlax, switch cart to the same Pokemon, and
did we see Colress Experiment this turn?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm like, you mentioned boss earlier, and I'm like, wait, I don't,
oh, yeah,
I don't know why that didn't sound right to me. Yeah, Tyranitar makes a lot more sense, and that is going to be a pretty solid knockout.
I'm looking
there.
ahead for next turn, you know?
You got me excited. Wow. Well, I guess if you're going to lose the single strike energies, top deck Urn of Vitality is pretty decent. It means that you'll have those energies for the Evital eventually.
Going to start things off, though, with the Primal Turbo. Eyeing down a couple energy to put on this Lugia V-Star to go along with the double turbo energy, most likely in hand.
Yes, we have the double turbo ready to go. The gift energy is definitely the big piece that needed to avoid being prized, as this means that even if this Pokemon's knocked out, there is an opportunity for Grant to redraw, get a nice big hand, and maybe find a way to not only build a second attacker, but also continue to perhaps put some disruption down, as he has not messed with Andrew's hand at all. And if Andrew has 20 cards, he's going to win.
Yeah, most likely. That's what happens. Professor Burnett's going to discard Archeops and that single strike Urshifu VMAX. There's that urn, putting back both of those single strike energies. But Grant doing everything he can to just stabilize on this board. But Andrew has had a great start to this game.
Yeah. This is a lot of work that Grant has had to do just to keep up in the prize exchange here. This is going to lead to the 4/4 prize cards, and even then, Andrew could potentially line up a knockout with a Raikou V onto this Lugia V-Star. He could
Boss's orders.
Boss's orders, which is something we looked forward to. Knock out that Archeops. So a lot of ways to put your opponent in a really bad situation here this turn.
Well, there is that Tempest Dive taking the knockout. Again, just nothing really from Grant's hand going on. Really relying on that gift energy.
Yeah, Grant really wants to shuffle his hand, and it's always been 2 or 3 cards that are mostly energies. It's not as fun to play this style of Pokemon. Andrew's over there, whee! Just having a blast. Can choose any attacker he wants.
You know, Grant's like, I guess I'll attack with a single strike crush.
Yeah. Andrew confirming the V-Guard energy there. Something to consider when using that Raikou V potentially.
Sableye brought to the active kind of signals that there's a Colress's Experiment. in hand. You can just easily get to that 10 number in the loss zone. This is where we see the Hawlucha. Just 10 damage on the Archeops and then lost mine.
We need 3 Hawluchas.
Keep going, yeah. Scoop up nets.
Yeah, oh god. Yeah, I don't expect to see that.
Concealed cards for Andrew. Discards that water energy. There's that Colress's experiment.
Yep, big find right there. Number 9 and 10 to the loss zone now. Activating the lost mine, and then potentially could start seeing targeting of Pokemon like that Archeops if you want. If you want to even go after that Evital, there's a lot of different ways you can work in this Sableye to assist in lining up a decent strategy at this point.
Andrew's hand is so big, it just takes a while to search through all the cards.
Well, there's one Hawlucha.
All right, let's go.
We could see maybe a world where you spread the damage between these Pokemon and then line up Radiant Greninja. But
No.
at this point, you just take the knockout and you line up for the Sky Sealstone attack, which I like a lot.
And Grant is kind of forced into attacking with this Lugia V-Star anyway. I guess you can do the heads-up play and retreat if that's what you're thinking.
Yep, just force your opponent to have that additional resource of that boss's orders in combination. Not able to thin all the way down, perhaps, to the right mix of cards.
Yeah, and I guess you can always
yeah,
Craggle
that's what I'm looking at too. Like that's we've seen this as a strategy that players actively go for, and sometimes you just mill the right cards.
Listen, you got to use the Lost Zone box deck against itself. It's spending the entire game thinning out, so you just got to discard cards maybe. But that is just a clean knockout. Now it's Andrew's turn. Has the Nest Ball. I think with the pace Andrew's moving, he has it in hand.
Yeah.
Raikou V on the bench.
Energy Recycler.
Yep.
Yep. He's got both Lightning Energies, I believe, are already in the discard pile. So just got to get that pulled right back into the deck there in combination with that Mirage Gate.
All right, now I got to do math.
Yeah, with the V-Guard.
Yeah, 7, 8. So that's, yeah, okay, it's enough.
Woo!
Mirage Gate, 2 energies on the Raikou V. I don't even think we need a flower selecting here. Yeah, Sky Sealstone. That Star Order ability allowing you to take an extra prize card from knocking out a V-Star or V-Max Pokemon.
Yep, Clara just for the energy for retreating, and that is going to be it. Activate that Sky Sealstone. Star Order, take that big Lightning Rondo KO on that Lugia, and Andrew Astrada is going to be up an early game here against Grant Shen.
Early game, but that game took like 30 minutes.
We take those.
Yep.
We've been looking for a long game here on stream that didn't involve the assistance of a judge.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely take that. And that was a pretty strong performance there, honestly, from Andrew. Just knew exactly what he wanted to do, never really overcommitted in any situation, played it nice, calm, and consistent, and sure enough, Grant playing with one Archeops is not what he wants to do.
Yeah, also trying to find a judge himself in that supporter card.
Mm-hmm. We did not see that. We didn't see, what, the only supporter I remember was the Burnett. That was not good at all.
It's a supporter.
Yeah. After
turn 4, Burnett. You're like,
after
great.
Summoning Star, it's not very good. But sure.
If you're playing like V Union, you could discard some pieces, you know?
Threw away an Urshifu. That was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, you throw out your bad draws so you can hopefully draw into better supporters later.
Well, hopefully they lead to some good draws here, as we see 30 minutes still on the clock for these players. Plenty of time for a nice long series potentially, as with these V Pokemon, we do potentially see that that Game 3 end in time. You have +3 turns, so prize cards can certainly fall.
Starts looking much better for Grant here. Lugia V in the active spot. And taking a look at the prizes, oh, that is both bosses' orders. And the only boss's orders for Andrew, so there's no boss for this game.
Oh, who's the boss?
No one.
Not even Tony Danza?
No.
Unlucky.
Grant's going to start things off. Gift energy. You have that Lugia be in the active spot. Archeops in hand with a couple capturing aroma.
Whoa.
Just passing the turn. All right.
That used to be like a kind of good thing in the old format as Lugia. You would just do that and they go, I don't know what that guy has. But in this format, it's usually bad. Yeah.
Andrew, meanwhile, is going to start things off with that Colress's experiment.
Yeah, that will lead to 2 in the loss zone. I'm not expecting the turn 1 loss mine here.
No. It's we can make it happen. All right, this Colress's experiment doesn't look too bad. Nest ball, escape rope. I think there's a Mirage Gate in there to go along with it.
Yeah, this is always a fun part for me from watching from this perspective, is seeing what cards you think are going to be the exact resources you need to hold on to in order to complete that prize map that you're looking for. In order to take all those prize cards, so Sableye and that water energy are not going to be a part of the mix. Holding on to cards like that Mirage Gate, even though it's early, you understand that having that resource for that mid stage of the game is going to be crucial.
Well, we also saw how game 1 ended. Andrew is relying on that Sky Seal Stone pretty much every time.
You see that early reading Greninja. Used to be a strategy in this matchup that so often use that Moonlight Shuriken as early as the second turn and do double Moonlight onto the Archeops, get those to 90-90, then work in the Sableye to deal that 6 and 6 for the perfect knockout on both those Archeops, clear them off in just 2 turns. But with the Radiant Serena, that has really thrown a wrench into that plan. You can't really do that anymore. So mainly we see this Pokemon just used to get some additional cards moving and start to burn through the deck.
Nestball grabs another Comfey for Andrew here. We know there's at least one switching out. I believe a switch cart.
Yep, all in all, it'd be a very solid turn if we saw this end with a Cramorant attack. Can't really ask for much more from your deck if you're able to get 4 cards into the lost zone this early. So we'll see if the pieces are there. Looks like Escape Rope and Beach Court are there too. So
literally the 2 that I didn't say. Yeah.
Unlucky. Yeah, I do like this. If you can hold on to a card like Beach Court, it's nice just because you're not going to lose that to potential Lugia V-Star attacking.
That was the easy decision there. Colress's experiment over that Hawlucha, and there's the one Cramorant yet again. Beach Court retreat and spit innocently. 110 damage on Lugia V. And I have seen a regenerative energy in a lot of these Lugia lists. Not here for Grant.
Ooh, wouldn't that be cool? I do like this from Andrew. Understands that if my opponent is going to win this game, it probably involves them having a turn 2 Lugia and attacking. So if they're going to be get themselves into a relevant position in this matchup, I'm going to have to lose that Beach Court no matter what. I might as well cash in on getting it into the lost zone.
And just bumping up that lost zone numbers artificially. Well, you still can.
I mean, this is turn 2 Sableye numbers.
It is, yes.
I live for that.
What about living for no Archeops in the discard and Judge for 4?
Nope, I don't like that one.
You don't live for that one?
I don't do that.
Grant is relying on the hopes and dreams of this Judge.
I mean, we're what, a Snorlax away from game here?
Yeah.
Raikou V. There's a lot of ways to lose from this stage. If you don't even find a basic Pokemon, let alone Archeops in the discard pile, there's a lot to ask for here.
Best case scenario, Grant draws double Archeops Ultra Ball.
Energy. T-Tar. Energy.
Nice.
That's living.
Not nice.
But is it living well?
Already having attached for the turn, you gotta bench the Tyranitar
V,
right?
This is so bad. You never want to, but you have to.
Yeah,
you can easily lose right here. He says, "Oop, this stinks." Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah.
Andrew's just got a smirk. He's like, I've got 6 cards in the lost zone. I think I'm going to win.
Concealed cards discards that psychic energy to draw 2. See switch card.
Switch card there. That could lead to the 7th card into the lost zone from that Comfey.
Now 7 cards in the lost zone will give you access to Mirage Gate. Now just would be missing the namesake card and Snorlax or something that could take the knockout.
Hey, Drapion V could have got there.
I was about to say, it attacks for 3 right now.
You were ready for that?
I was.
Yeah. Always vigilant.
Actually, it wouldn't take the knockout because of the V guard.
Ooh, unlucky.
Does 160. So
Wow, bad card.
Yeah.
Wow. After all that, with the huge opportunity, Andrew just attacks in with the Spit Innocently. The hand not very strong,
I think,
but Grant's
drew another
hand is so much worse.
yeah, you drew another double turbo energy. All right, well, let's attach to the active.
He's like, bro, what?
Maybe Andrew will whiff an attacker next turn. That is the thoughts going through Grant's head right now.
This feels like our theme deck match we had.
Yeah, who last turn
Who
won?
last? Oh, double retreat pass.
Couple battle VIP pass in hand for Andrew. Concealed cards, hope to find a Colress's experiment.
Escape rope, boss's orders, any way to knock out that Lugia. Colress into 10 cards in the lost zone eventually into Sableye Lost Mine. There's so many ways to knock out this Pokemon and basically end the game. And it's not there. He said, my hand's horrible, dude. He said, same. What do you expect?
Grant drew Collapse Stadium.
Collapse Stadium, no.
I think this is exactly like our
yes, yep.
basic game.
I'm definitely Andrew. Well, he can't even take a knockout.
All right, gift energy on the active, pass the turn back. Andrew's starting off yet again. At least is finding these energies to discard, but drawing into nothing to use.
Yeah, we see Nest Ball. That doesn't really get you anywhere.
Have we even seen Mirage Gate?
I mean, over half the energies in the deck are in the discard pile already. And yet, it is Spit Innocently once more.
All right, it's a free attack. Might as well use it while you can.
How about 4 times as your opponent just keeps drawing nothing? We see Nest Ball.
All right, that doesn't do anything.
Maybe if you play it fast enough, you can activate Luminion. No.
Unfortunately, Luminion, you have to play from the hand to use Luminous Sign. Nest Ball plays it directly to the bench.
His hands are there.
Yeah, it goes from his hand,
from his
literally,
to the board.
To the bench, yeah.
Judge.
Yeah. Gonna get another Lugia V. Yeah, Grant's looking for another judge right now.
Yeah, this is the I hope you spit innocently and I just read the wind into the right cards.
No. If he spit innocently, you're gonna trigger that gift energy,
Ooh,
and then we're cooking.
That's true. Well, there is an additional Pokemon on board that maybe you can just put damage on and not activate these gift energies. He's like, all right, how much? That has 6 left. And Tyranitar has 1 left.
Oh, we're going for
a
Moonlight Shuriken here. That's what's happening.
Could be that. Could be potentially find the Colress experiment and lead to the Lost Mine.
Switch cart to the Comfey. That gives you access to Flower Selecting. Andrew is going to Nest Ball first, hoping not to find this basic Pokemon on Flower Selecting.
Thinning
or
is winning.
Just thin it.
Grant said, I actually don't think anything can save me.
All right, Andrew fails that Nest Ball.
This is brutal.
It's
what do you do? Kudos to Grant for hanging in there, trying to make a game of this, but I mean, look at all the cards that are in his discard pile. He has 4 cards. He's played like 6 or 7 turns to get to this point. Like this has been a long game as far as turns. This is enough to clearly win a game with real draws, and instead he's got this set up.
It's been 10 minutes of Andrew spitting across the table.
Spitting on him. He even throws away the Sky Seal Stones. I don't care.
All right, Pokegear 3.0 here, trying to find Colress's experiment. There we go.
Good card. It's going to lead to 10. It's going to lead to potential lost mine. A lot of energy is in the discard pile, but have to expect that the items are there to assist this young Sableye in getting the job done.
Top 5 now for Andrew. Needs to find, all right, way to get out of the active, the Sableye, and a Psychic Energy, or Mirage Gate, Energy, way to get out of the active. Now, if you take the knockout on both Gift Energy Pokemon, do you
14 cards? Don't think that's how that works. Honestly, though, give Grant 14 cards and let him try.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's what it might take.
10 in the loss zone now for Andrew here. Tons of cards in hand. There's that beach court, so way to get out of the active spot.
Kudos to the production team getting us that gift energy so we can read it.
Yeah, we already knew it. It's fine.
No, really, Jeremy? Yeah, I think we've seen that card once or twice. Well, that is going to be the energy recycler there added. The retreat is lined up by way of that beach court. All these energies shuffled right back in. One Mirage Gate will be able to line up some pretty solid lines.
Yeah, and then we're attaching it to that, the Radiant Greninja. Yeah.
There we go. It's going to be the first Mirage. Is there a second? And yep, we're going to see that lined up too.
Even getting the energy on that Raikou V.
Yep. No need to line up for the Sableye there. Radiant Greninja is going to be able to get the job done, knock out those two Pokemon, have the Raikou V ready to go if that Lugia V ever works its way in. And
all right.
Hey, you get some cards.
Yeah, Grant gets to draw some cards now. Let's go.
They're not even good. It's a Mezacosa and an Urn. Find Serena. And there's Lugia at least. There's no Archeops.
Have you ever played a game of Lugia this many turns and not seen an Archeops in the discard?
Me, yes. Opponents, never.
Well, it's looking like Grant is in that yes part of the question.
This is wild. Yeah, Mezagoza has to flip heads in order to discard it with Serena. Can't even get that.
All right, do we Serena here discard a bunch of energy, hope to draw Archeops?
Yeah, at this stage, what? You discard 3, draw Archeops Ultra Ball?
Yeah, just like we wanted from the judge, but
okay.
3 or 4 turns late. All right,
Ooh.
we got a Capturing Aroma Ultra
Almost.
Ball.
This is closer
Now
than we
this
were.
Capturing Aroma flips heads. That searches for an evolution Pokemon. But this is all for naught, folks.
I mean, there's a world where you just don't even want the Archeops on your bench so that you don't help the Raikou V.
It's rough. Yeah.
Prize card.
All right, Tempest Dive, taking the knockout.
Yeah, it's that's what happens sometimes. And, Grant's like, dude, there's no Archeops here.
It is a Lone Lugia V-Star deck. No chops here. Raikou V in the active spot. And it was a good point that you said, just not benching Pokemon to power up this Raikou V's Lightning Rondo attack. Does 20 plus 20 for every bench Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's. And there's a heads on Mezagoza. All right, search your deck for a Pokemon.
So it works for you, okay. Well, we will see an additional Pokemon added to the board. Get some more on the bench. I mean, at some point, even just attacking into this Lugia V-Star should be enough to line up Cramorant knockout or something, so.
And there is a Colress's Experiment. 5 cards yet again for Andrew, and has just been in full control of this game. Sableye pretty much seals it up too.